Welcome in to the DFS Huddle. Sometimes it's the show before the show that you really want to dive into.
Yeah. Yeah.
Erik, Erik, welcome into the DFS Huddle. It's week 10. We want to break down the main slate, the NFL DFS slate, your Millionaire Maker slate, if you will, 10 games. Again, first off, thank you for everyone watching. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Our lineups and all that stuff, our best bets and matchup sheets and all that stuff is in the Patreon. The link's down below if you want a little bit more out of us. Of course, get your questions, comments in the chat box. I think we can see it everywhere it goes. Let's get your questions up there. You got to start, sit, question, all of that good stuff. Erik, my man, good day for you. Very, very exotic day for you.
Exotic day for me. Very got to know people a little too well, and looking forward to going to bed, man.
Yeah, how was your eye contact?
Dude, all I remember is I went in the room and the lady was like, "Okay, count back from 10." I got to 9. Next thing I know, I'm waking up in the room, and yeah, they're giving me a glass of ginger ale. So wasn't too bad. You know,
like a bad Saturday in Detroit, you wake up just walking a little.
Yeah, walking a little bold-legged, if you know what I mean. Yeah,
love that. But yeah, man, week 10, we're starting to know what's what. Weather is obviously starting to become a factor now. It's something to always keep an eye on. But look, we saw last night. You can have the best matchup in the world, and you can it's all about executing, producing, and not having Bill Vinovich as the official would help as well. Someone who loves calling penalties on every kickoff, every third down, every play, essentially.
I feel that I'm the kiss of death in our guillotine league with the quarterback position. I pick up Bo Nix, great matchup against the Raiders, and gives me 7 points. Just a complete offer, dude. Like, I'm literally the kiss of death with quarterbacks in that league, dude.
Yeah, you're gonna need a big week to stay alive. What can you do with the Arizona backfield? Ignore it. Don't play any of it is what I would do. I mean, from our guy, let's make some money 69, like right off the bat, get your start sit questions in there. Get any questions you got, DFS questions. Of course, we're going to go quarterbacks, running backs. We'll make a lineup at the end, all that good stuff. What do you, any thoughts on the Arizona backfield? No thanks for me. Playing the Seahawks, which is one of the toughest matchups you can face in terms of, let me actually pull it up. I can get the exact. Yeah, Seahawks, -1.5 adjusted fantasy points allowed. Who would you want? Why would you want to play an Arizona backfield player? Thoughts?
I mean, I have no idea. They always say one person is going to play in the media, and it's always someone else. So you know what I mean? It's like we can't even get any good intel.
And they all suck. None of them are any good. So
if you have to play someone, I mean,
I would say the guy with the most upside is DeMarcado. And when he gets the ball, it looks like he's better than the other guys, right? But
he looks more explosive. I mean, Bab Knight, I don't know what their obsession with him is. I don't think he's that good.
Yeah, I really don't. Garrett Wilson. I don't have an update on Garrett Wilson. You have him. Is Garrett Wilson playing? That's your guy.
I have no idea, man. I've been scouring Twitter for it. I cannot find anything if Garrett Wilson is playing.
Let's Garrett Wilson injury update. I mean, we haven't got an update today. The last update was yesterday, so we're still waiting on that. So not sure on that. The Bonfim guys, I did not see the weigh-ins yet. I've been watching the Worldwide Technology. My guy Carson Young at 110-1 climbing the leaderboard. You can get that in the Patreon, sitting at 1,200, 7 under today through 11 holes. We gave that out to Patreon, shit like that. Click it, $15 a month. But I don't. The Bonfim brothers in UFC, and what's the other brothers?
Walker.
No, well, not them. They're lighter weights. The Basharats. The Basharats and the Bonfims, no fucking thank you. I won't have anything to do with any of their fights ever. Just nothing to do with it. Don't care. No thank you. Ever. On those fights. Let's get to quarterbacks, Erik. You like it? There's a lot of good matchups this week. You can't go wrong at the top with Lamar and Josh Allen. There's low tier options. CJ Stroud, I guess, would be the big quarterback news. Still waiting to find what's going to do with Brock Purdy, Mac Jones, but so Davis Mills He's going to start for CJ Stroud in a great matchup. What do you like this week at quarterback?
I got a couple. Let's start out with Josh Allen. Last week went 6 for 19 on the ground with 2 tutties, 273 and 1 in the air. Has 6 scores in 2 games for them on the ground. Has 3 passing scores each of the last 2 meetings against the Dolphins. Has 40 TDs in 15 games versus the Dolphins. The Dolphins have given up the 8 most points to quarterbacks this season. I like Jackson Dart against the Bears. Had 56 on the ground, 192 and 2 TDs passing. Has a rushing score in 4 straight games, 5 of the last 6, but only has 1 game over 200 yards passing. So we're really counting on those rushing yards. The Bears have given up the 5th most points per game to quarterbacks. My decision in the Guillotine League came down to Justin Fields or Bo Nix. Obviously, I played
It's a
Bo
horrible
Nix.
choice.
That means Justin Fields is going to ball out of control. He's averaging 8 for 40 on the ground. Against this Browns defense, Myles Garrett has struggled containing mobile quarterbacks, so he is going to be able to elude this pass rush, so the rushing upside is there. Marcus Mariota in 3 full games has thrown 4 scores, but he does have 3 picks. In 4 games, he's averaging 31 yards on the ground. The Lions have allowed the 10th most points to quarterbacks per game, plus they have a ton of injuries. Baker Mayfield, coming off a bye, has had 2 passing touchdowns each of the previous 3 in 5 of 6 starts this year. His opponent in the game, Drake May, 20 rushing yards last week, 259 and 2 in the air, has run 50 for 50 yards in 2 of the last 3. We got Lamar Jackson against the Vikings. 204 and 4, really great, but he only had 14 rushing yards last game. I don't know if we're going to see him limit how much he looks.
Didn't even try to run, really.
Yeah,
didn't seem like he wanted to.
That's my one real worry point with him. Caleb Williams quietly has been looking good. Had 53 yards on the ground. Granted, it was against the Bengals, 280 and 3 TDs. 4 games since the bye, 247 yards passing, 1 TD a game. The Giants have allowed the 6th most points per game to quarterbacks. Those are the guys I'm kind of looking at. Will eventually dwindle down on one of them.
Yeah. So just for me here, sorry, I was looking at something. I agree with you at the top. Love Allen, Lamar Jackson, certainly there. Stafford against the 49ers. 49ers more stout against the run. Puka's fully healthy to go. Devontae Adams, Stafford had 30 in his game against the 49ers earlier this year, sitting at 6'5" DraftKings, 8K Fanduel. I like that. I agree with you on Baker and May. I just don't know if I'm including them because a little bit cheaper, I can get Caleb Williams and Jared Goff, both with better matchups. The Giants allowing the 3rd most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks, 4th most adjusted fantasy points allowed, and Washington 7th most while allowing the 3rd most fantasy points. That Washington defense, when you watch them on Monday, holy shit, they can't stop anything. They look absolutely fucking terrible. So I think the Lions and Bears offenses both in play. Give me the quarterbacks on both spots. I love Jackson Dart as well. For some value, just a few guys I wanted to talk about. JJ McCarthy, Dylan Gabriel, and Davis Mills. Those are kind of like the 3 guys down here. There's Jacoby Brissett too against Seattle, but no thanks. I think I like Davis Mills against Jacksonville.
Yes.
He's 45. I think he looked all right against Denver's defense coming in 13-17, a little over 100 yards against the number 1 defense in the league. Now you're getting Jacksonville, who is the worst against opposing quarterbacks in terms of adjusted FPOA.
And he has a full week of practice. You know what
I mean?
Yeah,
I think Davis Mills is a play in tournaments and 50-50s. If you want to pay up everywhere, I think Davis Mills has a nice floor. He's the value guy I like. The matchup is there for Dylan Gabriel and the Jets. The Jets no longer have. We used to say okay, we could play against the Jets, but they're going to be tough against the run, and half their number 1 receiver is going to have a tough time. Not anymore with Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner gone. The matchup's there, but there's going to be definite rain. It looks like it's bad weather in that game out in New York. So I'm probably going to stay away. I think Davis Mills is the value guy, and maybe a little JJ McCarthy. I like that he runs a little bit. I do think the Baltimore defense will eventually get better. But those are some of the guys I like. Before we move to running backs, got a question here. Sports Facts 21-21. Lions have some O-line injuries. Will that lead to passing more? I would say probably not because of the game script. I love We're going to talk running backs here in a minute. I like the whole Lions offense. You can play the max you can play from one team is 4. I have zero issue going both running backs, Goff and Amon-Ra or Jameson Williams. That Washington defense stinks. I think you're going to see a lot of points. The reason, in my view, that it won't lead to them passing more is because they'll probably be in the lead and just playing however they want and running it more. What are your thoughts on that? And I didn't see any indication that Washington can stop the run either. They look absolutely terrible in all facets.
Part of me thinks that Washington's been so bad against the slot this year. I think it's going to be a heavy St. Brown game. That's my initial read of the game. They're just so bad defensively, especially against the pass. Maybe we'll see them run a little bit more.
Yeah, interesting.
And then I saw some interesting thing. Like since October 1st, the Lions are the 3rd worst team EPA rushing the ball. But it is against the Commanders.
They've been playing some good. They've been playing some good.
It is against the Commanders. Does that matter though? You know what I mean? Like it's one of those.
That's what I'm saying. I really don't think it matters against Washington. Washington's so bad. I mean, that team's embarrassing on a short week, losing their starting quarterback. McLaurin's not going to play again. How are you feeling good about anything in Washington right now?
And that just goes back to me being the kiss of death and guillotine. I tried to get ahead of the curve the week before, picked up Jaden Daniels. Fucking A gets hurt. You know what I mean? Dude, I'm the kiss of death in that guillotine league with the quarterback, dude.
I dropped him for you because he got hurt for me too. My quarterbacks are Herbert and Jalen Hurts, and I've been trying to decide who to start. You got Hurts against the Packers, and then Herbert against the Steelers. It's a better matchup against the Steelers, and now there's going to be snow, it looks like, in Lambeau Monday night.
Yes.
So I'm taking Herbert in the Sunday night game. All right, let's get to running backs. We got McCaffrey, Gibbs, Cook at the top. Gibbs and Cook rocking in my guillotine league. Gibbs is in my flex. I've got the best squad in that league. I mean, let's call it what it is.
Tough life.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he had an off week last week. Did touch the ball a lot.
No.
I think he has a huge week this week. I like him quite a bit. James Cook against the Dolphins popped up on the injury report this week. Full practice today. Doesn't even carry a designation. A-Chain coming back the other way can be frustrating, but for me, I just think Tua's going to struggle against Buffalo. He does. I like James Cook. What did he do? 24 in game 1. A-Chain 16 in game 1 earlier this year. Quinshon Judkins against the Jets at 6'5" and 7'6". Love that matchup as well. It's kind of similar to what he had 2 weeks ago when he went off for 26. Our boy Rico Dowdle, he's the guy now. 28 touches last week against New Orleans in this game. I love that game. Bryce Young, that's a failed experiment. They can't throw the ball in Carolina. Yes, I just mentioned Cook was on the injury report. Full practice on Friday. Does not carry an injury designation into the game. He's good to go if it was a slight ankle injury. DeAndre Swift, assuming he didn't practice again today.
No, I thought it was a full go yesterday when I was.
Yeah, but did he not practice today?
Prepping.
That's interesting if he didn't practice today because I assumed he was full go too when I made my list. But if he's out, obviously Kyle Manungai, Giants, absolutely dreadful against running backs. 5th highest adjusted fantasy points allowed, 3rd most fantasy points overall allowed. Did you see anything on DeAndre Swift?
I am.
Let's see. I got it popped up here. Misses practice. Oh, for personal reasons, he missed a practice today.
Oh, could have been sick kid.
So we don't know. Keep an eye on that space. If he's healthy, sure. Kyle Manungai might be the safer bet there if you're taking. And he's sitting here at 5'6", had a huge week last week. He could be the guy. Travion Henderson with no Ramondre Stevenson probably against Tampa Bay and what could be a sneaky high-scoring game. Travion Henderson. And then David Montgomery. He's 5,000 DraftKings, 6-1 Fanduel. I don't have a problem playing both running backs for the Lions in the same lineup. I actually don't. A lot like Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara years ago. I can see them both having 2 touchdowns. Gibbs receiving or rushing, Montgomery 2. I could really see it in the spot. I like both running backs there. Erik, what do you like at running back this week?
I like HN, 14 for 67, 6 for 39 in the air, has 4 grabs in 4 of the 5 meetings, average 4.8 catches, averaging 20 catches at 20 touches at home with a pair of score, has 6 scores, 2 receiving yards. Buffalo has struggled this year at defending the running back. Travis Etienne went 22 for 84, 5 for 31 in the air. Last week, he forced a season high 9 tackles on 22 rushing attempts. Has no score in the last 4, so I think he's due to get into the end zone this week. Last time they played, had 16 for 56 and a tutty. Alvin Kamara, 6 for 14 last week. He's gone 6 for 68 as a pass catcher. And he has done well against Carolina. Last game, 29 rush attempts, 155 yards, has 5 grabs in 2 straight meetings. Breece Hall, 20 catches for 147, 2 scores the last time. Also a throwing touchdown, has 18 touches in 2 of the last 3. He's averaging 16 attempts and 85 yards on the ground, has scored in 2 straight meetings. Derrick Henry, with Lamar obviously dealing with some foot injuries, could we see Derrick Henry run a little bit more? 19 for 119 last game.
I love that matchup. Tough matchup against them.
Has gone 19 for 70 in 3 straight games. Do we know what's going on with Quinshawn Junkins?
He's good to go, I believe. I love him this week.
Played only 18 snaps last game. The previous 6, though, he has been on fire. 18 attempts for 78 yards per game. Has 80 yards in 4 or 5 healthy games. What is going on with Aaron Jones? He did have that shoulder injury. If he doesn't go, I think it's a great spot for Jordan Mason against this Ravens defense. Has allowed the 5th most points to opposing quarterbacks. Obviously, your boy CMC, 28 for 106 and a tutty, 5 for 67, and another tutty in the air, has gone 5 for 52 in the air at 8 of 9. Great matchup for him. We don't know what's going on with Swift, so I won't talk about him. My boy, I have these certain guys I can't quit. I'm going to say Kenny Walker did. Walker did. 11 for 42, 2 of 19 in the air. Scoreless the last 5. He's averaging 13 attempts for 62 on the ground. Went 19 for 81 in the last meeting. Has 16 carries in 6 straight games. Has 110 scrimmage yards in 4 of 6 meetings. Last one, Kyron Williams. 25 for 114 and a touchdown. First 100-yard game, though, he's run for 50 yards in every game. He's averaging 17 and 73. I really think after the last game, where he really didn't do too much, we saw Blake Corum cut into his rushing attempts. I think he's going to be insanely underowned this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know how you can do Kenneth Walker. Cardinals, by the way, 6th best adjusted fantasy points allowed. It's the worst 6th worst matchup for running backs, nearly negative 5 points. But Charbonnet, those two I don't know how you could do Kenneth Walker anymore. I don't know. You're bolder than I am. I don't know how you could do it.
I have certain guys that just can't quit, dude. Kenneth Walker.
Oh, God. I recommend quitting him. I'll bet Rashid Shaheed in his first game with Seattle outscores Kenneth Walker. I'll bet you that. That's how bad I can't. I'm so sick. Kenneth Walker, I kind of hate him.
So that will be the bet. Okay, let's do a 6-pack of what? Corona, Modelo, whatever.
Okay.
All right. Whoever scores more.
Although I feel like I'm giving you the favorite. I'm giving you RB1 while I'm taking.
Okay. So what? We'll do Kenneth Walker minus what? 3.5.
Yeah, we gotta. I don't know. Yeah, I think 3.5 is fair. I think Rashid Shaheed can outscore him in one play.
Yeah. So 3.5. I think 3.5 is a fair price.
Okay.
Now we're talking. Are we talking DK or FanDuel scoring? Which one are we talking about? What?
You want to do full point or half point? That's a good question.
Let's
just do DraftKings. Let's do DraftKings instead of
FanDuel.
Instead of FanDuel. All right, we got the bet in. We got a question before we get to wide receivers. What's the game stack in DFS? So there are games that I like in terms of should be points, and like Detroit, Washington, Miami, Buffalo. My concern is the blowout potential, right? And then sort of it's hard to stack Buffalo games because it's Josh Allen and Cook. Maybe you take a tight end, but they don't really have, unless you go Khalil Shakir, you don't really have a wide receiver that's going to blow up the charts. Then the Dolphins the other way. The Bills are one of the best teams in the league against opposing quarterbacks, so it gets tough. Then you worry, can Washington keep? I think it's Detroit, Washington. I think that's the game stack somehow coming back the other way with Washington receivers and hoping Mariota can get it done, but I don't love it. And maybe a sneaky one, like I said, Tampa Bay, New England. I could see that one being an interesting game stack and scoring. What do you think, game stacks?
I love Tampa Bay and New England. Do a little Drake May, and then run back with double E.
Yep. And we're gonna talk wide receiver here. It is Erik just can't let it go.
Can't let it go. Man. Dust in the wind.
It's fine. And speaking of that game, just like an injury note, if you look at the report today, so no Chris Godwin in that game, no Kayshon Boutte, couple of receivers. So Pop Douglas could be interesting if you're trying to like pay down. There could be a lot of ways where you could game stack this. The Bucks Patriots game, that could be a sleeper. This week, wide receiver, obviously I like all the guys at the top, from Puka against the Niners straight down, Jackson and Jigba, Amon-Ra the matchup, Justin Jefferson the matchup, Devontae Adams, Egbuka, Nico Collins is even in the picture this week. Who do you like at wide receiver? All those top guys are in for a big week.
Like Devontae Adams, 5 for 60 and 2 touchdowns. He is the red zone threat here for the Rams. They're just peppering him with targets. He has 5 scores in 4 games on the road, 4.5 grabs for 59 yards, went 5 for 88 in the last meeting. Nico Collins, 7 for 75, has 4 catches or a score in 6 straight, has gone 7 for 100 in the last 4 meetings. That's what he's averaging, against the Jags. Stephon Diggs, he scored in 2 straight, has 6 grabs or a score in 5 of 6. He's averaging 5 catches for 66 yards. Double E for the Bucks. Played a season low 20% of snaps out of the slot. He has taken over the X for Evans. He's scored 5 in 5 games to start the season, but he has no score sets in that, so I think he's due for some positive touchdown regression. He has 60 yards in the last 3. Marvin Harrison kind of has had a resurgence ever since Jacoby Brissett has taken over as the quarterback. He's gone 4 for 66 in 3 of the last 5 games, 7 for 96 last game. He's averaging 6.5 targets, 4 catches, and 70 yards. Justin Jefferson, 6 for 47 and a tutty. He has scored or hit 74 yards in every game, averaging 6 catches, 81 yards a game. Puka Nacua has that rib injury, but he's obviously going to go. He has gone 7 for 85 in every game. He's played 30 snaps. So if he's playing a lot, he's going to hit. That's kind of his floor. Romo Duze went nothing for 80 snaps. His dad is bitching on X. He's going to get the squeaky wheel game. You know what I mean?
I think so, yeah. Will gets the all. He's getting the all this week. A little update here. The 110-1 golfer here that we gave out on the Patreon here, day 2. It's now 8 under through 12 holes today, 13 under for the tournament. Tied.
There you go.
We're sitting at him here in the DFS Huddle Patreon at 110-1. Click the link in the video description below. Sign up. Get on board. So just some matchups here before we start.
3 more. Sorry, man. I got.
Sorry. I thought you were done. My bad. Go ahead.
Dude, I was. For those who don't know, I had the joys of having a colonoscopy yesterday. So I did a lot of research while sitting on the toilet yesterday. So I don't know if that's TMI, but I have a lot of guys because rough day.
Dude, I talk to my buddies while I'm on the toilet all the time. Like I do my best phone conversations in there. I'll just chill in there and stay. You know.
We got Chris Olave, 5 grabs and 4 of the last 5, 11 for 120 and 2 with Tyler Slaw. With no Rashid Shaheed, great stuff.
Tyler Slaw.
Tyler
Shuck. It's just Shuck. Imagine it's SH. I mean, he sucks. Yeah. Tyler Shuck sucks. Just think that. Tyler Shuck sucks.
Wendell Robinson, 9 for 46, has been under 50 in 2 straight. Has 6 grabs and 3 of 4. Debo, obviously going to be the number 1. He has 10 PPR points in 3 straight after hitting 17 PPR points in 4 or 5 to start the year. Shakir went 7 for 43 last meeting. Oh, sorry, is averaging 7 for 43, went 4 for 45 and a touchdown last game. Darius Slayton, 5 for 62 with an end zone drop. He has had, He has had 2 straight games where he's had a touchdown overturned. So I think he's going to get into the box in this one. I mentioned St. Brown earlier, has gone 8 for 115, 2 straight meetings. The weakness of the Commanders is in that middle in the slot. I think he's in for a huge game. My boy Jalen Waddle, 6 for 82, has gone 5 for 80 in 4 or 5 games, averaging 2 scores. Ever since Tyreek Hill has gone down, he's been just a god in every game except for the Browns game. And if Garrett Wilson plays, I feel you have to play him just because how much that Justin Fields targets him. Look, no great
There's
news.
rain. Well, there's rain out there too, so not a lot of good weather. I worry about that.
So
I don't like receivers, leg injuries, and rain. Very nerve-wracking. But that's so because I said that, you should all play him because he's going to score 45 points.
I hope
I have no idea if he's playing. I have no idea if he's playing. All right, just some matchups here. Erik, I agree with all those players. Some matchups to exploit. Teams whose secondaries you want to exploit in terms. These are adjusted fantasy points allowed compared to other teams here. The worst secondary, the best matchups, the Steelers, that Sunday night game. We will have our Sunday night lineups in the Patreon, but just if you're doing the single game, Steelers very, very tough against the run, very good against the pass. It's flipped for the Chargers, worse against the pass than they are better against the pass than they are the run. So just keep that in mind. The Bears come in second, terrible. The 49ers, the Vikings, Cowboys are on a bye. The Buccaneers, the Colts, the Patriots. So we mentioned that game. The Giants, Browns, and Lions round out the top 12 there of the teams you want to focus on here. So both Rams receiver, Puka Nacua, had 25 in the first game. He's going to have 100 targets, chunk plays every time. He's fantasy number 1. He's the most expensive receiver for a reason. Also sitting on Team Kyle. Team Kyle, Puka Nacua. But I love both Rams receivers. Adunze, I agree. He's going to be the squeaky wheel, lower owned after disappointing a bunch of people last week. Look, Jackson Smith and Jigba will be the lowest owned of these top ones, but he has upside, even though Arizona is a good defense. I agree with you. I like St. Brown and Jameson Williams. Nico Collins, okay, 11 targets last week in game 1 against Jacksonville. He put up a 26. Jacksonville stinks against quarterbacks. They stink against wide receivers. You could certainly do that. I just think there's better stacks, but you certainly can. But I think there's better stacks out there. I think Stafford, Nacua is a better stack, almost similar pricing. I just think that's a better stack. But Davis Mills kept going to Nico Collins. This is a great matchup here. It's a sneaky play. 6-7 DraftKings, 8K FanDuel. I think Nico kind of coming under the radar. I think he's a play this week, and I like the Texans offense better when CJ Stroud's out, plain and simple. Zay Flowers, Minnesota, one of those, the 4th worst in adjusted FPA. I think Zay Flowers, if Lamar's not going to run as much, if we're going to see what we saw last week, Zay Flowers will be the guy to get the ball to. I think Deebo Samuel can have a bounce back week. Didn't look good Monday night. The whole team looked bad, but the Lions, if you look at a defensive weakness, it is that secondary. Lions are going to be scoring points. Washington's going to have to find a way to stay in this game. I think Deebo Samuel's got to be a big part of that. I also like Jordan Addison. Just some value guys. Tez Johnson for Tampa Bay. Mentioned no Godwin. All those receivers hurt for Tampa Bay. Tez Johnson has found a little rapport with Baker Mayfield. Darius Slayton against the Bears in that matchup. I believe you talked about him. I like Darius Slayton. Your boy, Christian Kirk, 4,100 DraftKings, 5-4 FanDuel, 8 targets last week. Pop Douglas, we saw the big boomer bust, but now we have no Keyshawn Butte. Could be more targets for Demario Douglas. I think he's in play as well. And one more guy for the Bears, Olamide Zaccheaus, 3,600 on DraftKings, 5-5 on FanDuel. He's a really good DraftKings value. 15 targets over the last 2 weeks. We mentioned all the struggles the Giants have in the secondary. Playing 58% of the offensive snaps. He's clearly the slot guy in the safety blanket for Caleb Williams. I think Olamide Zaccheaus, way down at 3,600, makes a ton of sense. That's my low value punt play of the day. Before we move on to tight end, Erik, we got a question here in the chat box. What do we got? Let's see. Who in the flex full point PPR? Diggs, Charbonnet, Keon Coleman, or Travion Henderson? I would say it's between Diggs and Travion Henderson. Take your pick. What do you think there, Erik? No thanks on Charbonnet. Definitely no thanks on Keon Coleman. What do you think?
I would go with Diggs. I just think with oh my God, Boutte being out, I think Diggs is going to get those targets.
We also have
Bucks have been really bad against.
We also have Ramondre Stevenson out too, I believe.
So. Yeah.
And Luther Burden. That doesn't mean jack shit to me. Olamide Zaccheaus is playing way more snaps than Luther Burden. They'll bring special packages in, but if you think Luther Burden is going to, Luther Burden was there last week, wasn't he? I don't think he was out last week. Even if he's there, he doesn't cut into Olamide Zaccheaus, so that means absolutely nothing to me. If Wilson doesn't play, who should I use? Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, or Shakir? I would take Khalil Shakir. Don't love the matchup this week for the Colts against Atlanta. The Atlanta passing defense is actually very, very good.
Plus, it's going to be one of those funky overseas games too. Like, I hate playing people in that shit.
Yeah. I'm unfortunately having to play Michael Pittman this week, but it is what it is. So that is what that is. All right. Cole Kmet back too. That does not cut into Olamide Zaccheaus. Alexander Bayer, if you don't want to play him, don't play him. But that Olamide Zaccheaus, 50. No, you're a fucking idiot is what you are. I've won way more contests than you'll ever win. And I'm telling you, Olamide Zaccheaus, and I've watched every Bears game. Olamide Zaccheaus plays 58% of the offensive snaps, whether Cole Kmet or Luther Burden is there. You're absolutely wrong about that. But thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But hey, if we didn't have bad takes, we couldn't have good takes. Right? All right. Moving on to tight ends, Erik. What do we like this week?
Tight ends, my friend. Let's dive right into it. Obviously, Mark Andrews, 2 tutties, but only had 22 yards. In the 4 games, he's gone 11 for 102 in his last 4 scores in 6 games. Obviously, my boy Dalton Kincaid, huge game, 16 routes on 23 snaps, the 3rd most snaps for a tight end. Still has been targeted on more than 37% of his routes the last 2 games. He has gone 6 for 110 in 2 of the 3, has 100 yards or a TD in 4 of 5, went 5 for 66 and a touchdown in the last meeting. Sam Laporta went 6 for 97 and a tutty, ran 38 routes. He played every single snap. He has gone 5 for 55 in 3 of his last 4 games. The Commanders allow the 6th most points to opposing tight ends, had 6 for 51 and a touchdown the last time they played. Trey McBride had 34 routes on 54 snaps, 5 for 55 and a tutty, has a score in 3 straight. Cade Otton, with the injuries to the Bucks playmakers, we could see an uptick in him. The Bills have allowed the 7th most points to opposing tight ends. And my boy, Dalton, the man Schultz, 6 for 77, played 58 snaps, ran 36 routes, has gone 6 for 77 in 2 of 3 games, has 5 catches and 5 of 6, averaging 55 yards. The Jags have allowed the 2nd most points to tight ends per game. I think it's a great point. Great matchup for Dalton Schultz. And if you check out the Patreon, put a nice little bet in there.
That
in regards to Mr. Schultz. So
love that. Just some tight end matchups to exploit. You mentioned these are the matchups that you want to go after. Jacksonville, the Colts, the Saints, the Vikings, the Steelers, the Bears, the Dolphins, Cowboys, Washington, Seattle, and the Browns rather round out those matchups. Sam Laporta, I agree. McBride, always safe, always. Kittle, real hit or miss, tournament play only. Sam Laporta, same, because there's just so many mouths to feed. Sometimes he kind of gets lost in the shuffle. Love me some Dalton Kincaid. Completely agree. Great matchup this week against the Dolphins. 4,300 DraftKings, 6'2 FanDuel. Coming down, Cade Otton, I have him. I like that as well. Juwan Johnson's back in the targeted game, double-digit points in over the last 3 weeks, 3,700 on DraftKings. I like Dalton Schultz as well. You mentioned that matchup. Mark Andrews, because of the matchup and that red zone, it could be 2 catches for Mark Andrews, both touchdowns. We know how that goes. I'm keeping an eye on the tight end situation in Cleveland. Is Harold Fannin going to play or not? If he doesn't play, David Njoku's down at 3,200 DraftKings, 5K FanDuel. If there's no Harold Fannin, and with a great matchup against the Jets defense that's not good against opposing tight ends, I think David Njoku could be a sneaky play. Mason Taylor the other way against the Browns. We mentioned it's kind of a matchup that you can exploit as well. That's it. Let's go to defenses. We'll make a lineup and get you guys out of here on a Friday. Who do you like at defense this week?
Defense to me is always just a dart throw, dude. Let me start off. Obviously, I like the Texans defense against the Jags. I think you can't go wrong with the Browns defense. Seattle's defense. And then that's basically it, dude. I mean, I think one of those, it's really weird this week for me. I really feel that the defenses I like have a tougher matchup. Like, I'd love to play the Bucs defense against the Patriots, but I could see the Patriots really shredding them with the weaknesses. So to me, it's Houston, Browns, or the Jets. As crazy as it sounds, one of those three.
I like the Seahawks this week against Arizona. That defense, I like how they're playing. I think they match up. I don't know how Arizona's going to run the ball. I could see some turnovers for Arizona. I like that Seahawks defense. My Guillotine League defense and defense I really like as well, Carolina. That defense is flying all over the place. Carolina with no offense outside of Rico Dowdle. The quarterback play of Bryce Young is abhorrent. It's just awful, yet they still find ways to win. This defense is playing well. I like them against the Saints this week. 3,500 DraftKings, 3,600 FanDuel. That's such a cheap price on FanDuel. That's the best defensive play on FanDuel by far, in my opinion, and it's not close. Why not Detroit against Mariota and Washington? We saw that offense look anemic. Now, I don't love the Detroit defense. I prefer Carolina. Just saying, if you don't want to go the Carolina route, I could see that pivot. I agree with you on the Texans. Absolutely. That defense is tough. There's no doubt about it. One of the top defenses in the league. I don't hate that one as well. The Browns defense against Justin Fields and the Jets. It's going to be a wet game, it looks like. It's going to be a wet game. Justin Fields, we've seen him. We also see Myles Garrett causing turnovers, causing mayhem. Browns defense, 2,900 DraftKings, 46 FanDuel. But that's a great price on DraftKings. Browns defense stands out for me quite a bit. And then on the other side of that game, the Saints defense. Okay, now hear me out. This is my tournament dart throw, but Bryce Young. We're talking about a quarterback that's putting up single-digit fantasy points every week. He put up 4 fantasy points last week for Carolina. 4. That's not a good offense. They're somehow winning games. They can just shut down the run. Sneaky, way down the line tournament dart throw if you want to be different. But maybe the Saints defense. For me, let's go into the lineup optimizer, make a lineup. Before we do that, got a question here. He says Erik has too much Chicago defense. Absolutely not. No. No, they're one of the worst defenses in the league, and I think the Giants score. No, thank you. Erik has too much Jets love. Couldn't agree more. He loves him some Justin. I've tried to tell him how much he sucks. I send him angry texts when I back Justin Fields all the time. He does find a way, though, like fourth quarter rushing shit. Yeah. He'll get the points. And then this question here, if Ollie Gordon doesn't go, what about Wright for a dart throw or a touchdown bet? I don't hate that.
Yeah,
they certainly love to go with the number 2 back. I think that's a good call. They don't have Ollie Gordon. I don't hate that at all. Well, this is not what we're doing. Does Dylan Gabriel at quarterback? Yeah. Nope, that is not happening. I don't mind Davis Mills, but let's make one. Who do you want to go with at quarterback? You want to go like Caleb or Stafford?
How about Caleb? What about Dart?
Jackson Dart,
and then we can run it back with Odunze.
So some Jackson Dart, then at running back, let's get some Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yep.
In there, we got James Cook. I like Gibbs and Cook, actually. I think that's fine.
Yep.
Let's just keep that and see if we can afford it. We're going to have to save some money. So Dart, we've got paired with Slayton right now. What about if we double dip? What about Wan'Dale Robinson too? Because, let's get some Wan'Dale. Well, it has Browns defense. Don't hate that. We got to save 1,800. We've got Judkins. It's got Njoku at tight end. Who do you want at tight end?
I can't really see
Dalton Kincaid.
Oh, I love me a little Kincaid.
How about some Dalton Kincaid?
Okay.
And then we got Judkins in the slot. We got Amon-Ra St. Brown as the high price whiteout. I don't hate that. Or do you want to come back with a Dunze? I kind of like Amon-Ra there. And then, and then from Judkins, we can go down to. We can almost get Roma Dunze in this flex there. No, we got to save 2,400. We got to save quite a bit.
Can you take out Kincaid and go with a lower budget tight end? What is Schultz?
We can go to Dalton Schultz at 3,600. Don't hate that. You can come down from Amon-Ra St. Brown. We can go to Nico Collins, but then that's 2 Texans. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. What are we at right now? How much do we have to save?
Right now we need to save 1,700. So we need to go down from a Dunze, Cook, or St. Brown.
Let's get rid of Odunze.
If we go down from a Dunze, and here in our flex, we're going to be looking in the 4,300 range. How about someone like Christian? Oh, God, another fucking Texan. There's Dalton Kincaid. It's deep. It's nasty down here. Demario Douglas. Pop Douglas looking for a sleeper.
Did I see Etienne? Or was I just like seeing?
Oh, that was the other one. That was the other one.
Yeah. That
was the other one. So something like that. Again, lots of ways you can do this. If Holmes is out, DeAndre Swift, and you can just take out James Cook
and you put him in
go to a guy,
yeah.
And then we can really start paying up. Then you can come back here at the flex, and you can get someone a lot better, like a Roma Dunze. There we go. That's actually good. So we got Dart, Gibbs, Monangai, Wandale Robinson, Slayton, a little Giants offense, a little bit different. This is definitely a tournament lineup. Dalton Schultz, a tight end, Amon-Ra St. Brown, a Dunze, and the Browns defense. Again, click the link, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate it if you share with your friends. Join the Patreon, $15 a month. That link's in the video description below. For myself and Erik, have a great week 10.